Hey, what's up? It's your boy DGL7. Today, I have a special guest. I'm gonna actually let her introduce herself, though. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, Grand Rising Kings, Queens, Gods and Goddesses. My name is Colleta. I'm from Greenville, North Carolina. I'm an activist out here fighting for homeless families and individuals to save public housing as well. And to also do a check and balance with the labor board to raise the wages for people to be able to afford the three times the rent.
Okay. I'm actually very happy to have met with you. How are you? I'm gonna ask some personal questions first, right? Just because. How are you actually able to find the Save Section 9 group? Because I've actually been trying to find public housing advocates around the nation. It's been quite difficult to find. How are you able to get in contact with them?
Okay, first I want to shout out to Queen Ramona, who has done an awesome job with organizing that organization for the people, being able to give them an opportunity to learn how to lobby. I actually linked up with her through Thomas McKenzie, who I actually worked with some organizations down here in Greenville, North Carolina, and he seen what I do with some other coalitions that I work with, and he was like, "Hey, I got an organization I think you might be interested in linking up with because they do lobbying and they're trying to save housing. So maybe you should link up with them and see what we can do to try to help them or see what they can do to help us. So we just jumped in and I just see where I fit in and do what I can to help her, help us, move forward.
Cool. I appreciate that. Yeah. So one of the things that I
Yeah.
have for my channel is I actually interview different activists from around to because a lot of times they don't teach you how to be an activist in school. So you could like get and the questions that I ask you, it might be thought provoking. You'll actually wonder how other activists have answered that question. So you can go to my online activist series. You'll actually see that these questions are pretty much the same for all the activists. So it's just a way for me to really understand your activism. So you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So what got you started in activism?
Well, I think early on as a child, I seen what was going on in my community. So I started, trying to get engaged. But what really struck me was when I was homeless, before COVID hit and kept being pushed around in circles and made feel like my opinion didn't matter. So I started seeing a continuous cycle of people losing respect for me because I lost my house, not because I lost my mind. I started being categorized and all these other things. So I wanted to find a way to be a voice for the people who are out here on the streets, who are working Americans, who are disabled Americans, who are runaway teens, who are veterans, who are just regular individuals who are out here on the streets who are seeking help. And there's plenty of organizations out there. There's just no access to the resources when we need them. So I had to be a voice not only for myself and my daughter, but for the people around me.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Now the thing is that some people they actually build their activism off of like maybe they were inspired by someone or maybe there's like a series of activists that they knew in real life that like they kind of followed in their footsteps. How did you develop as an activist or what was your like framework for understanding the whole activism and getting into it?
And that's funny you say that because like as I look back, I have no role models. You know what I'm saying? My role
Okay.
models were my elders that were around me. I don't know those people on TV to say that I idolized them. My role
Sure.
models were, Miss Jetta, the lady in the community who used to come pick up all the kids and take us on field trips and show us how to stand up for ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It was, Miss Little May who would come in the community and feed everybody. You know what I'm saying? Off of what she had out of her refrigerator. So those are my idols and role models because those were the people that, looked out for me coming up as a child to show me like take care of your neighbor. Like if you
Sure.
see somebody out here who needs something and you have access to it, sometimes the universe didn't give it to you for yourself. It gave it to you to give to that person to have. You
Sure.
know what I'm saying? So I was
Absolutely.
taught up on those values and principles.
Okay.
And I'm actually in one of the communities I grew up in here on 14th Street in Greenville. This is one of our housing development. And I was just out here talking to the president about us sitting down, coming up with some of our challenges and our collective solutions on what we need to bring to our area, because we see the downfall even in our communities here in North Carolina.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that I prescribe to any of these, or not saying that I don't prescribe to any of these, but there's different ideas out there like socialism, capitalism, right? Like, all this other type of labels out there. Do you prescribe to any of these types of? What community would you say like you really represent? I know you said earlier like people that were struggling. I feel like actually that's very similar to my community, but as in terms of like they have those isms and stuff. Do you fit into any of those categories?
I don't think I fit into none of them. I think I'm just am. I mean, I listen to what a person have to say,
Sure.
and everybody's entitled to their opinion, their feelings, and emotions. And once we sit down and listen to each other, we kind of find out that we're all dealing kind of with the same issues. It was just we was, in a matter of who your educator was and what you was taught, kind of imprinted some of the things that we see on each other. So I'm taught that, you are a Chinese man, I'm not supposed to have relations with you on certain levels. But, as we see, we here talking and we're dealing with the same exact issues, just in different communities.
I'm
You know
actually
what I'm
Korean
saying?
American, but it's all good. It's the same to
So,
me, honestly. I don't really care. Yeah, but that's okay.
yeah,
That's
but I
interesting
mean,
to
I
know. Don't worry about
apologize
it. Don't
if that,
apologize. It's the same
but,
thing here. I really don't
but
care, to tell you the truth. But it
we are
just is really
all
what it is,
one.
honestly.
We
Yeah.
all believe the same. You know what I'm saying? We all, want better for
Yeah.
ourselves, our children, and the people around us. We're not
Mhm.
these mass vicious animals and criminals that need to be watched over like little children.
Yeah. I feel you on that. Now another issue that come up is what are some of the things that are the most effective things that activists can do, right? Because people are watching this, right? And one thing is to help is other people who are activists. They don't really have like a code book or like right. They can see what other whole bunch of other activists said this was effective for me. So what have you found to be the most effective thing, or what have you seen others do? Right? What do you feel is the most effective things activists can do?
I think the most effective thing that you can do is get engaged. Actually start talking to people, having conversation again. Put social media down for a change, and actually get out to know a person. If walk past a person, say, "Hey, how you doing today?" and spark that conversation. We can't do it alone, and you're not the only one out here. Sometimes I feel alone because I'm like, dang, ain't nobody hearing me. But it's like in those moments, that's when the universe send people like DJ, you know what I'm saying? Send people like you in my life and like, no, what you're doing is not in vain, because you got other people in other places that's doing the same things. So we draw strength off each other and feeding each other the resources and giving the resources away freely, showing people how to really get access to the services, and showing them that it's okay to be a voice for yourself, that you don't have to be afraid of the people that's in Washington.
We're gonna have
Like
a
they
real
valid,
productive relationship. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I can tell you and me we're gonna get a lot done. This
yeah.
is really good. Yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited. Okay, that's awesome. So those are some things. So okay, so another thing that happens is a lot of people when they get involved with activism and stuff, sometimes they don't know what to do. They join an organization a lot of times, right? Their organization, they heard like somebody was doing something. So you probably have been involved with organizations over time, and sometimes some of these get co-opted. Sometimes they're problematic. Sometimes they're more effective or less effective. What are some of the things that you see that if someone's part of an organization, they're like part of a better organization or worse organization? What are some things they can recognize to recognize a good organization versus something that maybe felt like wasn't really as effective?
Well, the way I recognize organization is pretty much by their community outreach. Because the whole point of an organization is to reach the community and be effective. So if you're in an organization and they're not being effective and they don't have any results and they have extensive waiting lists, then you're probably in the wrong organization. But if you're in an organization that's actually seeing progression and they're transferring people to solutions, then you're going to be on the right path.
Okay. I do feel like there's a lot of traps out there for activists like in some of these organizations that suck up their time, resources, and energy. Any just cautionary tales or any advice that you have for people who are getting to activism so they don't fall into some of those traps or pits or something like that? Oh wait, you froze on me. Yeah. Okay, we'll see if she comes back. All right, I think that this is a pretty cool conversation. So, anything else with the? Oh, okay, she's coming back in. Okay. Hey, what's up? Are you back now? Check, check, check. Maybe I should. It says she's in here 3 times. Maybe causing an error here. Okay, so she's coming back in. All right.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey,
My
hey, hey.
phone went crazy now. We're
No, it's
doing
okay.
some good stuff, so.
Hey, you know what? That's all right. We're not getting that big money, you know. So we just got to deal with what we got to deal with. I'm in the same similar situation, and I respect that. You know, ingenuity comes from, you know, invention is they say necessity is the mother of invention, right? When we need to find a way to make it happen, that's why innovation happens in communities like ours, right? Versus, right, the people who got it made, they just follow the formula, but we the one who's going to be breaking the new stuff. So what up? Yeah. So once again, like I was trying to, this is really
What I'm gonna do is it's gonna cut you off because it's now
okay.
saying my phone is.
Okay, she may come back. We may be low battery. We may have a internet issue. Anyways, yeah. So North Carolina is actually a high, you know, impact state. Got someone over there named Brian from an American Union. I will definitely be hooking up Brian with this activist who's definitely about like organizing her own community. As in terms of getting swing voters, Brian, we may have a solution right here. An on the ground, real activist out here coming out to DC. This might just be a power ad for your team. We're gonna see what's up. I don't know if she's down. Is Barbara Gaskins from Grenville? I have to find out. Yeah, I have to find out. Got people running for offices. North Carolina is an important area for presidential politics, yeah? And it has effects. You have Iowa, New Hampshire, and the Carolinas. Yeah, big, important. Who controlled that southern vote, supposedly? That's how they gave Biden, like, the president because he won one thing in South Carolina, I think, right? Yeah? Doing pretty shitty before. It's not an even fight. Stop pretending like it is. Okay, we may have lost Colleta. Getting towards the end of the interview. I hope you guys have enjoyed my live series. Siraj, you gonna watch this, man? Are you going to actually talk one day? Let me check my chat, see if there's anybody with questions, see if Colleta's getting at me.